What is going on, guys? This video is going to be all about BYLT versus Cuts t-shirts, and I just wanted to create a review just kind of talking a little bit about each and more importantly which I think is best. So that's what this video is going to be all about. Now with that said, let's get into it. Now if this is the first video you're seeing, you'll find in the description below a link to both a more in-depth review for the BYLT t-shirt specifically, as well as the Cuts t-shirts, and talking about the different blends and styles within those specific t-shirts that are there. So if you want to see more about that specifically in depth, then go ahead and check those out after this video too. Now for reference, I do wear a large size t-shirt all across the board for all of my shirts. And for size reference, I'm about 6 feet tall and 185 pounds, give or take. So first up, we're gonna talk about the material of these shirts. Now, this is kind of tough because BYLT has both a BYLT blend and a Luxe blend. So for this one, I'm gonna stick with the BYLT signature blend simply because if you watch that video more in depth, you'll find that it's more of this cottony blend. It's a thinner material, more of what you're used to finding. And I think it's more comparable to like the overall Cuts material that is used. So just to lay the groundwork there. Now talking more about the material for the Cuts Pica Pro shirts, it's extremely soft and just really, really comfortable. It's a high quality cotton feel. And I just really love the feel of this shirt overall. So for me, I'm gonna give the edge to Cuts just because this is the one blend they have. I think they lean into it a bit more than BYLT does, having two different offerings. And the BYLT signature blend that I'm comparing the Cuts to is actually not even my preferred blend for BYLT. So it's kind of hard to compare them. I will give the edge absolutely to Cuts, just in terms of the quality, how it looks, and overall it's just a lot more comfortable of material in my opinion. Now let's move on to the fit and style of these respective shirts. I personally like both of them a lot. It's like splitting hairs. I will say I like the Cuts style a little bit better because the hem and drop cut in the back is not as long as the BYLT one. Now talking about the BYLT shirt specifically, I really like that style as well. It is a little bit longer in the back, but overall I like how tight it is around the neck. It's actually probably a little bit tighter than these Cut shirts here. So I think that's a +1 for BYLT in that category. Now, a lot of this is gonna come down to preference. So I may like, less of a drop cut in the back and less length back there, and you may prefer more. So at the end of the day, it's all gonna come down to preference. So keep that in mind with everything that I go over. These are just my personal preference, but I think what's important is that you get to consider what I'm calling out and really decide for yourself. So comparing the two styles, I personally think the Cut looks like marginally better. Barely. Personally, just what I prefer. Now let's talk about durability. I really like the BYLT blend. It's super thick. You can throw it in the dryer, pull it right out. It's not wrinkled at all. It doesn't fade. I've had like a bunch of these over time and they look brand freaking new. It's actually really impressive. So the durability is 10 out of 10. I've never had any holes in them, any like fraying or stitching come undone. Now with the Cuts shirt, like I said, it is a lot thinner of material. I wouldn't be worried at all much about fading, honestly, and then the stitching itself seems like really, really nice. So I'm not worried about the durability either. However, I think just the BYLT blend for the BYLT t-shirts being a little bit thicker, I think that's gonna lend to better durability over time. So we'll give the edge to BYLT there. Okay, now we're gonna move to the big one, which is cost. And there's actually a pretty sizable difference here. For a Cuts t-shirt, it's gonna run you $54 US before tax. And for the BYLT t-shirt, it's only 29 or 31-ish dollars depending on the blend that you go with. So we'll just call it like 30 bucks. That's an $18 difference, and that's massive. You can almost get two of these BYLT shirts for the cost of one Cuts shirt. So for me, like, that's a really, really, really big factor. And obviously you have to give the +1 to BYLT, especially considering like the differences in terms of material and look to me are so marginal. So with that said, those are all the factors that I would consider between these two shirts. They're really similar in terms of design. There are some minor differences. And in terms of material, they're both super high quality. And even with BYLT, you can get a material that is more like that cotton feel that you're used to. So you're really splitting hairs there. Now where that big difference is obviously the cost. Now, if a friend were to come and ask me, which shirt should I get? I would say BYLT. It would be BYLT. Like you can almost get two shirts for the cost of one of the Cuts, and I think that the look is so marginal that it's not worth, the extra $15, $25. Now, I'm not sponsored by Cuts or BYLT, which would be great, but I'm not. So I spend my own money buying these clothes, and obviously I spend my own time doing these reviews. So if you can just throw a quick thumbs up to get it to more people like you, I would really, really appreciate it. Now, I hope you found this video helpful and can come to a conclusion on your own. As I mentioned earlier, go ahead and watch each of those separate review videos for the BYLT and Cut t-shirts just to get a little bit more in-depth understanding of which one you might like better. And I'm sure after this video, you already see the styling a little bit and kind of lean one towards another. These are all just my personal preferences, so take everything with a grain of salt, but if I were to recommend it to a friend, BYLT would be the one. So with that said, please go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you join the channel. I do try on hauls and review videos like this all the time, so I would really, really appreciate it. And other than that, I guess we'll catch you on the next video. Have a good one.